Canto 5. I made my way down from the first circle to the second, which has a smaller circumference, but much more misery, which makes for more tears. Hideous Minos stands snarling at the entrance. One by one he interrogates each. What crime? Which error? When the misdeed? Then twists his coiled tail. In other words, the unfortunate one before him confesses all, and Minos, connoisseur of sin, renders his infallible opinion as to which hellish level is an exact, punitive match. Then he lashes his reactive tail around himself. Each twist equals a level. In this way, he indicates how far down the soul is sent. A many-headed multitude forever stands before him. One by one, each steps forward. They speak, they hear, and then they're tossed into the hollow nothingness, where they spin until they reach the designated ring. Hey you, who've come to the Hotel Woe, said Minos. When he saw me neglecting for a second his official duties, be careful where you go and who you talk to. Don't be fooled by the fact that the door is always open. Why are you making this fuss? My leader asked him. Don't you two try your best to hold him back. It's been willed where the will is irresistible. That's enough. Just give up. Now the woeful notes begin to reach me. Now I'm in a place where the sound of so much desperate sobbing hammers at me. I'd arrived at the site of utter darkness. It was as if a cyclone howled at the center of a combat between two warring factions, each in metal armor. Then unrelenting hellish storm yanks the spirits forward, jerking and whipping them. They're unwilling victims of its violence. When they arrive at the foot of the fallen wall, they shriek, moan, cry, and curse God's power, using all the words that censors bleep. I learned this special type of torment is reserved for those whose ravenous appetite for carnal knowledge allowed lust to triumph over reason. Like wings carrying starlings off in crowded flocks, when the end of October hints at winter, so the wind carried these sinners up, down, and at an angle in broad and compact masses. What is there to comfort them? Neither more peace nor less pain, although they beg for both. As cranes sing their heartbreaking songs in a line above the rolling level, so I saw the ghosts come crying as they were buffeted about. By the stony cold and bitter frictions, I asked my teacher, who are these people being thrashed about by the awful air? He said, the first of the enormous group that you see here was once the queen of what was once Assyria. She legalized unlawful acts of lust in order to indulge her own depraved desires and nullify the blame the incest scandal caused. Her name's Semiramis, and the books say she succeeded her husband Ninus and took her private kingdom into parts of Egypt. The next is the one who promised to stay faithful to the ashes of her late and loving husband, but did not. Later she killed herself for love. Next is lustful Cleopatra. Over there, Helen, whose bad girl behavior set in motion years of non-stop mayhem. There's Achilles, who in the last battle lost to love. There's Paris, Tristan. He went on, naming and pointing them out, one after the other, and the countless that love has caused to lose their lives. After listening to the endless list of femme fatales, the knights of an earlier era, I was filled with pity and a bit dazed. I said to the poet, pointing, I wish I could talk to those who are locked in an embrace and seem weightless against the battering wind. He said, you'll see when you're closer. Just say you'd like to know about the love that leads them, and they'll come right over. The wind carried them toward us, and I raised my voice. You two poor things, unless it's forbidden, could you please come by and talk to us? Like doves gliding to a beloved dovecote, compelled by some strong desire, wings outstretched and steady on, they came, leaving behind Dido and her kind, through the victorious air drawn near by the mere politeness with which I'd address them. You, still alive and all, you're very kind to have braved this brutal air to visit us, after we've muddied the world with our blood. If the ruler of the universe were our friend, we'd ask him to give you peace, since you've shown us pity, in spite of our terrible wickedness. We can tell you whatever you'd like to know, as long as the wind is calm, as it is now, and we can hear you, and you us. I was born in Ravenna, on the Adriatic coast, where the Po River and its feeder streams peacefully drift off as they empty out to the sea. Love lit the fire of my lover's gentle heart. He fell in love with the pretty girl I was. I still resent the way that girl I was taken from the world. Love, which is impossible to not return when one is loved, made me love him back, so that even now we're one in hell, and as we were in the world. Love led us to the one death, but the area called Cana waits for the one who snuffed out our lives. These words were carried from them to us. When the two ruined ones were finished speaking, I hung my head and kept it down, until Virgil asked, "What are you thinking?" I said, I wonder what they were thinking. How did they fall in love, these pretty two, who shouldn't have, since it led them straight to this? I turned to them and said, Francesca, your suffering makes me want to weep in sympathy. But tell me, what made you aware, when you first began to feel some spark, that dubious sense that even the air is softly sighing, that this was love, and worth perdition? She answered, what's sadder than remembering the happy past when you're feeling wretched? Just ask your teacher, he could tell you. Since you're so eager to know how our young love first began, I'll tell you. But the whole time I'm talking, I'll be in tears. One day, to amuse ourselves, we were reading the tales of love-struck Lancelot. We were all alone and naively unaware of what could happen. More than once while reading, we looked up and saw the other looking back. We'd blush, then pale, then look down again, until a moment did us in. We were reading about the longed-for kiss the great lover gives his Guinevere, when that one from whom I'll now never be parted, trembling, kissed my lips. That author and his book played the part of Galahalt. We read no more that day. As one ghost told the story, the other sobbed. I so shared their sense of grief that I felt my senses go dim, as if dying. Then my body fell like the dead fall down.